It's time for another collab video. I'm teaming up with Kyngpin Creations, N.E.R.D Comics Inc and Night of Arcane to produce an Amazing Digital Circus video at the same time they're releasing theirs. I'm going to be doing them as Transformers, so let's bring these illustrations to life. After awakening in this strange place, Pomnius Pax's first day was certainly memorable. Despite the fact she couldn't remember anything about before waking up in this place filled with even stranger cybertronians. Well, they claim to be cybertronians, but they're rather unique even for any member of this race. Her first day was filled with chaos and insanity. While there was this giant glitching machine, a floating cybertronian with a large mouth around its eyes, but no face or other details, and a strange host of characters. She had hoped it was a strange and bizarre dream, but alas, she was still here. As Pomnius left her room, she bumped into Ragathus. Things were awkward as Pomnius had left Ragathus glitching out from the abstraction virus and left her alone in the corridor. This was mainly due to fear and confusion. Despite this awkwardness, they received a message from Cainitron about a new adventure and to meet in the main room of the tent, for lack of better words. A place known only as the Amazing Digital Circus, but it made no sense. At least not to Pomnius Pax, the newest member of this motley crew. Once they were there with the other Cybertronians in this rather strange and isolated place, they were told by Cainitron about the new adventure he created for them. It was at this point one of the other Cybertronians, who looked like a mishmash of shapes, refused to do the adventure and walked off. A short while later, Cainitron opened a portal to another place that he claimed he created, where they were going to stop a group of bandits who had stolen the rare N.E.R.D from the Cainitronian's kingdom. It seemed like a rather silly and pointless adventure, but there's nothing else to do, and Pomnius Pax wanted to find out more about this strange place. Even though she was wary of the others, they were the only other Cybertronians around, and for better or worse, she would have to talk or interact with them. Unless she wanted to slowly become one of those glitched creatures and end up in the basement, a place that looked super dark and scary, and was filled with glitched creatures. How many was unknown. However, even with that, Pomnius Pax walked through the portal and ended up in a strange desert area. As the group of strange Cybertronians found their way to the Candy Kingdom, they were welcomed by the princess of the Cainitronians. She informed the group that a bunch of bandits, led by the evil Gummigon, stole a truck of Candy Energon, the life force of the Cainitronians. Without it, they would be short, and soon they would become weak and unable to defend themselves, and the kingdom would fall into ruin. Jaximus was excited to be chasing after the group of bandits. That was until he saw the vehicle that was prepared to chase after them. His spark sunk as he dragged Ganglax over to drive, and he jumped in the passenger seat. The others got in the truck and set off after the bandits. Meanwhile, the bandits were heading across the desert with the Candy Energon. The brains of the group was Gummigon, a green and orange Cainitronian with a set of swords on his back. He was green, white and yellow in colour and was able to transform into a type of crocodile. They were taking the Candy Energon back to their village to feed the starving villagers and to help their sick mother. It seems like these bandits were not as evil as the princess had made out. Even though they did steal the Candy Energon, they did have it for a good reason, even if their methods were questionable. However, it didn't take long before Pomnius Pax and the group caught up with the bandits. It was a bit odd that they managed to catch up with them so soon, since they seemed to be in the same type of vehicle. Although no one really noticed or commented on this, it wasn't long before the bandits started to blast shots at our band of heroes. This went on for several miles, exchanging blasts back and forth while avoiding the strange and rocky terrain. However, it didn't take long for the trucks to get side by side. It was at this point the bandits pulled a lever. The truck had spikes come out of the side. They rammed in the side of the hero's truck. The spikes went through the side of the truck wall right into Ragathus. However, they seemed to not do any harm. She did look confused, and Pomnius Pax looked terrified at what she'd just seen. Pomnius then got on the roof to see what was happening when Jaximus pulled the steering wheel and crashed the trucks together, sending them both over the edge of a cliff, down towards a brown viscous river. It was at this point something strange happened. Pomnius and Cainitron were taken somewhere else.
Professor Marcus Plague.
God?
No, I am SCP.
Oh, you mean the SCP that makes non-canonical events happen?
Yes, we need you to return to the featured presentation.
Yeah, okay, just 1 second. I'm watching DempseyJ illustrations right now. He's drawing the Amazing Digital Circus characters as Transformers.
Aw, sick. Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. You want to watch this next one with me?
Yeah, bro. Let's do it.
Pomnius and Gummigon were somehow glitched to be underneath the map and in a corridor with neon blue lighting. Although everything else was dark, the lights did allow Gummigon to find his way to a large room where he looked and saw his fellow bandits, the rest of the Cainitron and himself. This completely and utterly confused him and left him lost for words, questioning his own existence. It was literally an existential crisis. How do you understand it when you see you? Not just a reflection, but a still, motionless version of yourself. A bit duller, but still, you know it's you. It was at this time Pomnius and a truck full of candy energon could be seen in the background of the room. As Pomnius looked up, she saw Gummigon and realised that he found out he was an NPC. Although he had no idea he was an NPC, he knew something wasn't right. He asked, "What is this place?" And Pomnius told him they somehow managed to get under the map and that he was an NPC, saying, "It's not that bad. You just need to help me get out of here. But what can we do to get out?" It was at this point Gummigon told Pomnius he was nothing. His life, memories, friends are all fake. She sat down and told him that's kind of normal, feeling like you're nothing. After talking for a bit, she invited Gummigon to come back to the digital circus, describing the rest of the group as interesting. This gave Gummigon hope that he could have somewhere to belong and become friends with Pomnius. But they agreed not to tell the other members of Bandits about the fact they are not real. Gummigon asked Pomnius how would they get out of here. They got in the truck and started the engine. The truck shot up into the map, travelling through a strange space filled with colours. The rest of the group had the remaining bandits on the truck heading back to Candy Kingdom. When all of a sudden they heard a noise and saw a truck flying towards them until it hit the ground, leaving 3 trucks next to each other, 2 of which were full of candy energon. The group let the bandits head back to the village with one of the trucks, but Gummigon stayed with them. Pomnius explained Gummigon was going to come back to the digital circus with them. After returning to the Candy Kingdom, a portal opened and they all stepped through to complete the adventure. Upon entering the circus, Gummigon was removed from existence by Cainitron at the snap of his fingers, leaving Pomnius Pax to laugh as she started to lose part of her sanity. As mentioned earlier, Night of Arcane, Kyngpin Creations and N.E.R.D are also doing videos around the Amazing Digital Circus, so be sure to check them out. I've put a link in the description and I'll link them on the end screen at the end of the video.